We have made it to Canada. The fires, I think, have settled. I've not checked in on it, but I know there's no smoke where I am here in Richmond, Virginia. And it doesn't seem like there's smoke up in New York anymore. So life is good. The show must go on. We're rocking and rolling. We are going 70 laps in Montreal. We are going around the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. That's tough for me to say. This is a classic track here. We have our man Hamilton, who has won at this track 7 times. He is hungry for number 8. He's actually tied with the most wins at this Grand Prix ever with Michael Schumacher. So maybe Ham takes it here and gets his 8th win of the season. We shall see. Other exciting things to watch. We have a hometown hero, Lance Stroll. He's going to be our guy. We'll get into that a little bit later. This track actually, not this track maybe, but this Grand Prix was actually home to the first and only disqualification of a driver because he was getting too slow. He was going too slow. In 1969, this dude, Al Peason maybe, was just creeping along way too slow, and FIA was like, dude, you gotta get out of here, DQ. So that's the only time that has happened. So that's interesting. That was at the Canadian Grand Prix. Other things to watch here, there is a spot coming out of turn 13 that is called the Wall of Champions. Now, this could be our ticket to beating Max Verstappen. So the Wall of Champions is called that because there's this wall coming out of this little turn 13, that has claimed 5 different world champions. So I think it's back in the 90s, we had Schumacher hit this spot, get knocked out of the race. Damon Hill, who is a former world champion, I'll put his picture up. He hit this spot. Then we had the son of the man the track's named after. This guy's name was Jacques Villeneuve. He hit the wall, and he was a world champion. Then, fast forward a couple years, that Jensen Button dude, he hit this wall, got knocked out of the race, and last but not least, in 2005, Sebastian Vettel nailed the Wall of Champions, and it took him out of the race. So, we have an opportunity here. Hamilton, he's a world champion. Verstappen's a world champion. Alonso maybe is one. I should probably know that. But, I mean, one of these dudes could hit this Wall of Champions and could take him right out. So I'm excited to keep my eye on the Wall of Champions here coming out of turn 13. That's going to be the most exciting thing for me to watch this week. Other than that, I mean, I think it's a street circuit, so it might do well for Perez. But, I mean, Verstappen's looking so good that it might be tough for anyone to mess with him. But we will see. We'll keep our eye on the Wall of Champions. All right, let's look at my podium picks for this week. I am 0 for however many races there's been, 7. But this might be the week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Max Verstappen in first place. I think he is doing well this season, and I think he might keep it up. If he qualifies first, it's a done deal. Now, I'm going to sprinkle in another team here that I think has been improving from what I've seen. That's the Mercedes team. And I'm going to put Lewis Hamilton in second place. I am liking that maybe we're going to start seeing a little bit of action between Max and Lewis like we did 2 years ago. So I'm going to go Max first, Lewis second, and then I am going to say Alonso. Let's put him in third, baby. That's what he does. He comes in third, and everyone gets excited. So let's put the wily old fox in third place. That locks in my podium picks. Please, I need one. I need to get one right. All right, what a hometown hero we have this week. We have the man, the myth, the legend, the Stroll Troll. Very fired up to see how he does this week. There's only been 2 times where a Canadian has won on their home track. First one being 1961, Peter Ryan.
Win me this race, Lance baby. Win it for me and Daddy in Canada.
This dude was actually born in Philadelphia. I guess he moved to Canada, decided he wanted to be Canadian. I don't know why he'd want to do that, but Peter Ryan wanted to do that. He won the race in 1961. Fast forward 17 years, 1978, Gilles Villeneuve, that dude who the track is named after, he got it done and won on, I guess it wasn't his home track at the time, but he was the second hometown hero to do it in Canada. Now we have our man, Lance Stroll. His dad owns the team. He's kind of growing into the role a little bit. He was getting a little bit fiery in the race interview last week where the reporter was asking him why he didn't let Alonso pass him if Alonso seemed like he was moving faster, and it would have helped him in the overall championship points. The troll just stared the dude down and was like, yo, why don't you go ask him? And they're like, I already did. He's like, so why are you asking me? Quick clip right here. So
yeah, such a shame. Alonso said during the race he won't overtake you. But
we were 6 and 7 points for the team.
But he is higher in the Drivers' Championship, so I could imagine that if he overtakes you, that it's good for him in Championship.
He's right over here. Why don't you ask him?
I already spoke with him.
So why are you asking me?
We talked about. Yeah, maybe you talked about it.
No, I was busy driving the car.
Okay, all right.
The troll, man, the troll's fired up. He's ready to rock. I think he's going to be a great hometown hero for us this week. I'm hoping that we can get him qualifying into Q3. Maybe get him up there in like 5th place would be great. Get a little bit of rubbiness racing at the front of the race. Knock at least 2 dudes out. He's sitting there in 3rd place. He can maybe have a chance to win. We haven't had a hometown hero win the race yet, but this is a great option with the kind of a top of the line car, top of the line driver. Lance Stroll, let's get it done, brother.
We're gonna win a race this year, and we're gonna do this. Ice cream's my way back home, I guess you can say.
All right, let's talk about our boy Sarge. Big week. He is close to home soil. He's probably been up to Canada before. I think this could be a big week for him. I was checking out his socials. He's looking like he's laying low this week, kind of getting his head dialed in. Only thing of excitement on the socials was some like Price is Right game that he played. But that was very short, so he probably finished up there, went into the lab and started testing out the car, things like that. So hopefully this will be his week that he can maybe get a point, crack the top 10. It's kind of crazy. I was looking back at it. He actually placed 12th in the very first race of the season in Bahrain, and then has just been sliding from there, skidding, as they say. So he finished 12th in Bahrain, and then 16th in Saudi Arabia, 16th in Australia, 16th in Azerbaijan, 20th in the hometown of Miami, ouch, 18th in Monaco, and then last week, dead last, 20th. So we need to see Sarge start pushing those numbers back up. We're rooting for you, dude. I don't know what I can do to help, but if there's anything I can do, let me know, because we got to get you up into the points and the podium and a win one of these days, because you already know what your celly is going to be. So I'm excited to see it. So again, another exciting thing to watch for this weekend is going to be the pointless battle. This one's between Nick the Wall Dog DeVries and the American Logan Sargent. Now, neither of them have finished in the top 10. Obviously, they don't have points. Both of them, the highest they finished is 12th. Back in Monaco, DeVries finished in 12th. And the first race of the season, Sarge finished 12th. So they're both not very good. And I was looking back at their teammates to see maybe if it's the car's fault or if it's theirs fault. Looking at the AlphaTauri car, it looks like, Yuki's been hovering around that 10th position the whole entire time. Looks like their car is starting to perform worse than the other cars. So that kind of matches up with Nick DeVries a little bit. And then look at the Williams car, same situation. Albon got 1 point the very first race of the season, but then he had 2 DNFs, and the highest he's finished is 12th. So he's kind of on par with Sarge a little bit. Sarge is finishing like on average 4 places lower than Albon, but it looks like their car is not keeping up with other cars as well. So, I don't know. Their teammates are both better than them, it seems like, and we might not see either of these guys get a point this year. But something crazy might happen. There might be a big wreck, and there's only 4 cars left, and it could be these 2 bad boys. But another week of a pointless battle. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. Okay, so how do we beat Max? It's been fun and all watching him just be a beast, but now it's getting to be a little bit boring, and it seems like nobody can beat him. So I'm trying to figure out what we can do, and it seems like it all comes down to qualifying. So there's been 3 races that Verstappen has not qualified in the pole position. Those races were Saudi Arabia, Azerbaijan, and Miami. Now, in Saudi Arabia and Azerbaijan, he actually did not win the race. He got second in both of those. So we need to dial in on those. In Miami, that was the one where he qualified 9th, and then he went back and passed everybody and won the race. Now in Saudi Arabia, he qualified 15th, and he made it back to 2nd place. So the dude's dangerous. It seems like what we need to do is have him get knocked out in Q1 somehow, maybe with a mechanical or something like that, and then start the race in like 18th place and try to work his way back. That's all we can do. So Max has won every race except for 2, and Sergio has won those 2 races that he didn't win. So Red Bull is looking very dominant, and what I'm thinking we need to do is just make sure that Verstappen doesn't qualify first, and then maybe we'll see some action. Looks like our other way of having him not win is going to be the aforementioned wall of champions. That turn 15, if we can get him to pull a little tricky business, then maybe he will slide in there, hit it, and take out the wall. Will claim another champion. That's the 2 ways that we can do it, I think. The other third way would be hubris, maybe. Last race he was getting a little bit cocky, weaving in and out of the lines, and the team was like, hey man, dial it back in, and he was like, yeah, for sure, what's the fastest lap time? They're like, don't worry about it because you're going to win the race, and he went ahead and took it and went fastest lap. Then he kept it in the lines. So there's a little bit of boredom on his end that I think we might be able to take advantage of. So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe that's the way that we beat Verstappen. Time will tell. All right, let's talk about the bonus challenge. Quick update on the standings right now. We have 3 teams tied for first place. We got the man with the crystal ball up top, No Mikey No. We got I'll Change This Later, and we got Race Highlights, all with 15 points. They're top dogs. Right now they are consistently playing. A lot of people are not consistently playing, which is a little bit silly because it's an opportunity to win some cold, hard cash. Now let's talk about what the questions are going to be for this week in Canada. First question is going to be simple. Will our hometown hero, Lance the Troll Stroll, will he finish in the top 10? Simple enough. Second question is going to be, which team will make the first pit stop after the race begins? Third question will be our classic, which place will our man Sarge finish in? I really hope it's a podium. I think he can do it. And last but not least, will the Biebs, Justin Bieber, will he be at the race? He's Canadian, so he would be kind of a local legend. It would be only right for him to turn out and be at the race. Those are your questions. Play if you want. Don't play. Either way, I'm playing, and I'd like to have the chance to take the top spot. So don't play. Now, this will be the quickest part of the show today. We'll look at the fantasy standings. As far as the Grand Prix go, one team has the most Grand Prix wins. That's Bones Racing LLC with 2 Grand Prix wins. We got a couple other teams with 1, but your man's on top of the leaderboard there, looking to bring home some cash money. And if we bounce over just to the overall fantasy standings, a quick look at what the top 5 is. We got No Mikey No in 5th, Chelsea Supreme in 4th, Better Call Gene in 3rd place, which would get him some money if the league ended today. 2nd place, Stroll Toll Racing. He has won the league 2 times previously. He's in 2nd place. That would win him some money if the league ended tonight. And on top of the leaderboard, again, Bones Racing LLC. So this Bones Racing team is clearly the top dog and the team to beat. And that is that for our preview show. Get fired up. We got qualifying is at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe, on Saturday, and the race is at 4 p.m. or it might be the other way around, actually. Hold on. It's a fun way to end it. All right, the qualifying is at 4 p.m. on Saturday, and the race is at 2 p.m. this Sunday, Father's Day. It's all happening on Eastern Standard Time. Be there or be square. Bye.